Hey guys, welcome back to the Loan Officer Leadership Podcast. I'm your host, Steve Kiles. We are powered by the Mortgage Marketing Animals. And if you wanted to hear a great conversation with two friends that is extremely relevant in today's market, it's what you're probably thinking, then you're listening to the right episode. And I've got my great friend, none other than Carl White with me. What's up, my brother?
It's good to see you, my brother.
I'm telling you, we get, and we're not only together, we're in the same room.
We're in the same room.
Normally we're Zooming.
Normally we're 800 miles apart from each other, 1,000 miles. All right. So you're listening to the right episode. If you want to hear a candid conversation that Steve and I are going over today. So we get questions asked to us on our support desk.
100%.
And then you and I get together and we think of answers for these support questions and helping loan officers like double their business, double their income by doubling their referred leads while working a 32-hour work week, 1 year from today. That's what we're known for. And so what we're going to do is we're going to let you guys just kind of be a fly on the wall
as we have a conversation,
as we go over our support questions and how we can help loan officers. So really good questions. And I would say these questions, it's the conversation that's in everybody's mind right now, these kind of things.
100% agree.
So let's just get into it.
Okay. Yeah, we got one coming up,
you guys are going to like this. It's going to be good. And we'll probably do a series on this. So what was the first question we had?
Yeah, well, so this one was somebody said that we need to flip the value of loan officer versus realtor. So what they said was some loan officers spend too much time going after agents when loan officers should be the first point of contact for buyers.
So in other words, what they're saying there is a problem we have in the industry right now is the consumer goes to the agent first, and we need to change that.
That's what they're saying.
Okay. All right. What's the next part of the question?
So then it just says, the more we push in trying to chase agents, the more the agents hold the keys. Loan officers need to learn how to hunt more for their food as opposed to asking someone else to share their meals.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on that?
So I'll tell you, so this is a real clear one. So I understand why people think that way. Yeah. So let's do the first part first. How do we get it so that instead of the river flowing naturally, that people call the agent first? Now, he's right in this case, for sure, that they should call us first.
Yeah.
Should doesn't matter. What matters is. So you have the Mississippi River flowing north to south. So what he's saying is, how do we change it so it's flowing south to north? And I can tell you right now, me, you, and Pharaoh's army is not going to do that. So you're not going to change the natural flow of the way this stuff works. And if you try to think of a fast flowing river and you're in a canoe and you need to go 10 miles today and you need to do it very rapidly, you get paid $3,000 every time you go 10 miles.
Yeah.
Do you want to be paddling upstream or do you want to be paddling downstream?
Oh, that's clear.
Downstream.
100%. Yeah.
Do we want to hire a bunch of engineers and figure out how to change the flow of the river from north to south to north? Well, I can tell you right now, our government would likely spend billions of dollars trying to do that. Yeah, to try to do that.
As opposed to just jump in and go the natural flow.
There
you go.
So the time and energy that we would spend trying to change the entire way the real estate industry is already going, the likelihood of us having any movement in that needle whatsoever is zero.
Well, what's interesting, that goes back to the consumer direct. There are people that are great at consumer direct. Look at Rocket Mortgage, some of the bigger people, but it's really about money. And what I would encourage is that the consumer direct has such a low conversion. Go the natural flow.
Yeah.
So the natural flow is a client reaches out to an agent because they fell in love with a property. Oh, by the way, I got to get a mortgage.
Yeah.
And then what we do is we double down on our daily success plan, asking for additional business, which means we can get it outside of the agent, but we're not going against the flow of them being the number one source.
But let me tell you something. Here's what this guy's missing, right? And I appreciate the question, right? It's a great question, right? It's a great question. And he's right. Gosh, how nice would it be
if you didn't have to work with those people, the agents?
If the consumers just call, like we're just sitting there and our phone just starts ringing, wouldn't that be awesome? And it would be.
And it did, right? For 2 years.
Well, sort of.
A lot.
But my knee-jerk question to that is, how's that working out for you today? Right? How's that working out for you today? All right. So here's the thing. when I first started, I don't know if I've ever shared this with you. I started my real estate license course at the same time I started my mortgage. I thought I'll do both.
Yeah.
Right. Come to find out, that's not a good plan.
Mhm.
You know, what's a
Distraction.
Chase two rabbits, you'll catch neither. Right. But let me tell you why I decided the mortgage route. When I was taking the test or when I was taking the classes, it hit me. As a real estate agent, I have to develop the lead. As a loan officer, I have this army of agents
that are developing leads
for me. Why would I try to disrupt that? Why would I see this? The very thing this guy's trying to get away from
is the very thing
is the secret sauce to why I make in the mid 7-figure income, right? Actually, eight figure.
Yeah.
That's why I have an 8-figure, is because I have an army of people
working,
grabbing the leads for me. So I'm sitting back and all these, I'm like Tom Sawyer, you know, where I have all these people wanting to come up and paint my fence. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So here's the thing. So these real estate agents, I want you to get a visual image. These real estate agents are bringing me rocks, and I crack open those rocks, grab out the gold nuggets, and we share those gold nuggets. So the real estate agents bring me these leads.
Yeah.
And I just crack them open and pull out the gold nugget and go, here,
Yeah.
this, and we both get the gold nugget, right? They get their value out of it. I get my value out of it. And then I don't have just one of those agents doing that. I have,
Focus 40.
I have 40 agents all going out as my little army of salespeople, finding the borrower for me. Yeah. And all I got to do, well, get this, all I got to do is be nice to the agent. I just got to be pleasant. And so when people say, I don't want to work with agents, like, what, you don't want to be pleasant? Because we're not paying for anything. Yeah. We're not buying anything.
Yeah.
We're closing the loans on time. Yeah. Right. We're following up on the leads like green on a pickle, right? We're converting those people, but they bring these rocks. They know there's gold inside. They need us to dig out the gold, right? To fund the loan.
That's right.
Why would you ever want to disrupt the flow of an army of 40 agents with me just being nice to them? I don't have to do anything. Just be nice to them. Call them up. How's it going? What'd you do this weekend?
Do you work or you play?
Did you work or did you play? You work awesome. Who'd you work with? I can help you with. And if anybody calls that chasing, I can tell you right now, it's not going to work out real well for them.
That's the mindset we have to shift. Is it's relationships. We're looking for
it's a free army of free salespeople. Why would I ever want to disrupt that flow? That makes no sense to me. Like, man, God knows I need to find another way other than having this free army of free salespeople doing all the heavy lifting. They're in the mine digging out the rocks. They bring me the rocks.
They set them in front of me.
They set them in front of me.
Can you do something with this in 21 days?
Yeah. Can you crack this thing open and get the gold out of it? Yes, I can. And right now, more than ever, hey, Carl, right now, there's not as much gold in each rock.
Yeah.
Awesome. Get more free salespeople bringing me more rocks. This is not the time to get away from that model. This is time to embrace it more than ever.
Yeah.
And when you say double down, it doesn't cost anything.
Phone call, face-to-face, ask for the business.
Great point. It cost me time. It cost me cups of coffee, perhaps, right? Like whatever. And it cost me actually follow up on these people or grab a pick, grab an axe, go dig the rocks, bring them up all by myself. But when I do that, I've only got one person doing it, me. Yeah. That's very scary. On the Focus 40 model that you introduced me to, I've got 40 me. There's zero chance I can out lead generate 40 other people that's doing the lead generation for me.
Yeah.
I think we have the greatest business ever.
Yeah.
That we get this free salespeople all bringing us business, and all I got to do is be nice to them and ask them to do it. That's it. And if somebody calls that chasing, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to work out for you very well. Yeah. Like you're in, and I'm not saying this to be funny, and I feel for those people. They're in for a very, very, very hard time, and this is not going to work out well. So embrace the idea. Hell, I want them calling the agent first. Because now the agents are putting out all that time, the traffic, the lead source, the opt-in page, the initial conversation. They're kind of weeding through people and bringing me the rocks that likely have gold. And I've got 40 of them doing it.
That's it.
All I got to do is be nice.
Be nice. Do the right activity.
And ask for the business.
That's it.
Ask them, hey, could you go get some rocks for me? Because if
Yeah.
you do, I'll dig the gold out of
I'll
them.
close them on time. We'll clearly communicate. We'll follow up. We'll do the work. We've got the process.
Or I'll get the civil
Team.
engineers
Yeah.
to go out
Yeah.
and redirect the Mississippi to try to flow south to north. Which would you rather do?
Well, that's not going to work.
That's not going to work.
well.
So that just makes.
Yeah.
So anyway, I hope that I get real passionate about this one.
But you know, it's well intentioned. It's, hey, we need to get our own source, but they are the source.
They are the source.
That's it.
And some people say, well, I need to find another source.
Like
get
divorce attorneys.
Get
or
another,
somebody-
or no, get another agent.
There
Now you have
go.
another
There you go.
source.
There you go.
So you go, well, what if I lose that source?
Well,
You
get
didn't,
another
you didn't
agent.
lose all 40 of them.
Yeah.
You lost one of them.
Yeah.
So if I want to, if I want to diversify,
Yeah.
awesome, get 2 agents. I want to diversify more, awesome,
Get-
get 4, get 5. Now let me tell you what is dangerous.
That is good.
I wouldn't diversify all in one office. In other words,
Yeah.
like if I work for Jay's Remax
Sure.
and I've got 20 agents in there,
Yeah.
and something happens with Jay or something happens, like whatever,
Yep.
I don't want all my sources to have all one thing in common.
Yeah. And one thing we got to talk about too, agents, make sure they're qualified. You know, I think this year has been the year of separation. And what we're seeing is, and I know in my branch, the producers that were doing 8 to 12 buy sides last year are likely doing very little. It's really the tunas, the whales that are making it through this season.
The bigger fish are doing great. The smaller fish are falling off the mountain.
100%.
Yeah.
And so you look at it, you said, well, I had 40 agents I was working with, and we did this earlier this year, and you were shocked with how many are onesie twosies
Mhm.
versus the ones that are really producing. So you've got to not only go after them, go after the right ones that are qualified
Yeah, great
in today's market.
in today's market.
Yeah, that's great.
And if you want to find out if they're qualified, we can give a shameless plug. It's our show. We can give them a shameless plug if we want.
100%.
So Richard Smith will get you the list for you of qualified agents, and it's qualifiedagentList.com.
That's it.
QualifiedagentList.com.
And he'll get you 1,000 names in your local market, and that's
And
who
they're
you go
qualified.
after.
It shows you how many
Based on
buy
today.
sides.
Yeah, 100%.
How many buy sides they did in today's market, how many buy
Yeah.
sides. So great source. All right.
Yeah.
Next question. Steve, so the next question was realtors feeling fragility of current market, not interested in making new. Oh, okay. So the issue this person says is, Steve, I don't think real estate agents right now are interested in making new lending partnerships because, and I get what I'm saying here, because instead of like opting to try new sources,
Mhm.
you know what? Things are kind of hairy right now. I'm going to just stick what I have. I'm not going to try any new sources. So
What are your thoughts on that?
I tell you what my thoughts on it is.
Yeah,
That's
tell me.
absolute hogwash.
I agree 100%.
Here's what happened.
Hey, hold on. They called 10 or called 8.
No, they called 1.
And they said, well, that one person told me they don't want to talk to a lender.
And so then they start using words like all and everybody. And they're like, so when I saw this question, and
The
again,
question was, how big was the source?
yeah. So my question
How
was,
did you go?
how did the other 29 calls go?
They didn't.
They 100% did
They
not.
didn't.
No.
Well, and let me give you an example. Mike, he's part of our Freedom Club. Love him to death. He's going to present at our next meeting. In the last 10 weeks, has met with 51 brand new qualified agents.
So not brand new agents, but new.
Brand new to him.
Brand new to him.
had a
Producing
agents that are qualified.
And so he met with 51 in the last how much?
10 weeks.
10 weeks.
Absolutely crushing it. And I mean, this month the branch is doing their best numbers ever when everybody says that can't happen.
So doing better numbers than last year at this time when everybody's having their record.
100%.
He's beating last year's numbers.
100%.
And you know why he's
And
beating
he's
it?
calling agents that quote unquote nobody wants. No
They
agent
don't
wants a
wanna switch.
lender to talk.
And so this person is not making any calls
Mhm.
because you know what? I don't think they want to meet with me.
Yeah. Well, the good news is, and I love you tell us all the time, you made a fortune at 84% of the no's, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So you're going to hear 8 out of 10 people say no.
That's right.
That might even say get lost. It's
Almost
the
never.
2.
Almost never, by the way. Almost never did somebody tell me to pound sand or
They may
you
not
know,
answer
in
your
fact,
call.
I
or they
literally, on the top of my mind, I never remember somebody saying, get
blah, blah, blah.
your insert in
Yeah.
things that we don't talk about here on the podcast.
Yeah.
And talk about my mother or name calling. I literally can't think of ever.
Yeah.
Now I've had people say, hey, don't call me again. I've
Sure.
had that,
Sure.
right? But 16% we end up meeting with and working with.
Yeah.
You have to call enough people so that 16% is a meaningful number.
That's right.
But like if I call 5 people,
yeah, you hadn't got there.
16% of 5 is still 0. Like
Yeah.
it's not 1 yet.
Yeah.
It's not 0, but it's like point whatever 8. Well, 0.8 doesn't give me anybody.
Yeah.
So if I meet with 100 agents, which might sound like a lot, right? But if you go, all right, 100 agents, and let's say I do that over, I don't know, insert in like 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
So what's 100 divided by 6?
Yeah, you're talking about 16.
16. So that's not even one. So let's say there's 20 working days.
Mhm.
That's not even one a day,
Yeah.
right? That's just
Yeah.
under one a day.
Yeah.
If I meet with just one agent a day, just one,
Yeah.
qualified,
Yeah.
for the next 6 months,
Every week you're going to get one.
I'm going to have 16
Yeah.
referring agents. What's
Yeah.
16 times? We make about $3,000 per closing. So what's 16 times 3,000? So that'd be 48 grand raise a month.
Mm-hmm.
Six-
meeting
one agent a day.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
So you go, well, Carl, I can't meet with 100. Can you meet with one a day? One.
Mhm.
You got 8 hours to make that happen. I take it out. You got 6 hours to make that happen.
Because you need 2 hours to call.
Well, you need 2
Whatever.
hours to call. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So if I call 2 hours
Yeah.
and get one meeting a day,
Yeah.
like lower the bar.
Yeah.
A mutual friend of ours, Jim Reed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 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 Yeah.
I've never actually met Jim, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
Great guy. Love him to death.
I listen to some of the things he talks about. He's a brilliant guy,
Yeah,
right? Works
yeah.
with Todd.
Yeah,
Awesome,
yeah,
awesome
yeah,
guy.
yeah. Great guy.
But I heard him say the other day, lower the bar.
Yeah.
Lower the bar. In other words,
What can you do today?
what I meant by lower the bar is instead of measuring how many of them referred to me that I met today. No. Your success comes just from one meeting a day. You meet with what doesn't refer to you, not refer to you. Don't even count that.
Just did I meet with
Did
a
you meet with-
qualified agent a day?
One a day, huge win.
Mm.
But we just did the math here.
That's
Imagine making another $48,000 a month
Mhm. Because you met
in
with
addition to what you're doing now
Mm.
by meeting with one agent a day
$500,000.
with a 16% conversion rate.
Mm.
In other words, 84% of the time I sucked, right? Just
Yeah.
no good,
Yeah.
right? And 48 grand. The thing is, 98% of loan officers won't go through the 84 no's to make 50 grand
Mhm.
a
More-
month
more
on
than
top
some
of what they're doing
others.
right now.
Mhm.
So I would say, as you're listening this day, be the 2%.
That's it.
Be the 2%.
Yeah.
So did we answer that one? Let's see.
Well, that's fantastic. I think the answer is make more calls. Meet more agents.
because some agents will switch because we're on the Loan Officer Breakfast Club,
Oh yeah.
and on the Loan Officer Breakfast Club, loanofficerbreakfastclub.com. Go
Yeah.
check that out.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
free.
Yeah.
There's loan officers on there literally every day saying met with new agents, getting new referrals, meet with new agents, getting referral.
Mhm.
So I hear what this person's saying. Somebody shot them down,
Mhm.
but that was just one or
Mhm.
two or three. I
And
mean,
when, when you hear that though, Carl, how many times have we heard it? And you ask the follow-up question, how many did you call?
yeah. How did the other 29 go?
That's where you just realize that's such a small number.
Yeah.
Such a small number. So make the calls, do
Yeah.
the work.
Did I ever tell you the study? So my favorite class I've ever taken in college was statistics and probabilities.
Tell me about
Did
it.
I tell you about this?
Tell
All
me.
right. So for my class research, I had to do a term paper.
Okay.
They used to have this thing, you may or may not remember this Chips Ahoy cookie.
Yep.
Advertised 16 chips per
Oh,
cookie.
yeah. Yeah.
16
Yeah.
chips per cookie. And so for my research, I thought I like chocolate chip cookies, right? Apparently.
Let's see if this is accurate.
Let's see if they do have 16 chips
Yeah.
per cookie. So in that, I had to get so many cookies per so many packages, and I had to get so many packages per so many cases,
Mm.
and I had to get so many cases per so many lots that they
Mm.
make.
Yeah.
In other words, I can't grab one cookie
Out of
and this one has 24 and go, nope, it's 24. Or this one has 12 and go, nope, it doesn't have the 16, where the next 100 might have 50 chips.
Yeah.
Right. So you have to make sure your sampling size is big enough to make a
Yeah.
decision, which, by the way, I came up to, so I did it right. And I bought, so many cookies out of so many packages, out of so many cases, out of so many lots. and actually came to 14.1. 14.1. I'll never forget this, man. So then I wrote up this paper to Nabisco saying, hey, you said 16, it's 14.1.
Here was my control
Here's my study. Here's how I did it. Here's how I did it. What say you? And I thought, man, this is going to really shake them up. I can't wait to see what they're going to say about this. Never responded, of course. They saw this and went, what in the hell are our kids studying these days? And threw it up and went, get out of here. So anyway,
great one.
Bigger case study.
Yeah.
So great comment. Yeah. Bigger case study.
Okay. Last one. Here we go. Not sounding redundant each week when I call the agents. Did we talk briefly?
Here, so I'm going to ask you on this one. So here's this issue.
Saying the same
Steve,
thing every week.
I feel like when I'm making my phone calls to the agents, I feel like, I'm saying the same thing every week.
Yep.
And, aren't they going to get tired of me?
Yeah. You asking me?
Yeah.
Not me.
So what would you say to this person?
Yeah. So remember this, you're making calls each and every week. There's a formula that produces the right result. When we call on Mondays, hey, Carl, do you work or you play? Hey, brother, how you doing? It's the sincerity of saying it the same way each and every week. To me, I think that's the power of it. There's consistency. And you're thinking it's the same thing I'm saying to each person every day. You got to realize you're touching them once a week. And for me, I think that's the power. It's the same message.
Yeah. I think what happens if we just get better at his time. So I agree with you 100%, and we get better.
Well, you start saying it this way, and then what you start realizing is, as I build relationships, because you're not always going after brand new agents, you'll develop your Focus 40. Those Focus 40 turn into great relationships. So it's for the brand new people. Hey, I've heard great things about you. Saw your numbers. Would love to meet with you and see what it is you're doing to have such great success. Every time.
Yeah. For
the people that are friends. Hey, Carl, man, how you doing, brother? Did you work or you play this weekend? And there's the authentic side of that. And so it just gets better, more genuine.
So when I first started, I don't know if I've ever shared this with anybody.
Well, I'm a first. Come on.
So when I first started dating Maria, lovely Mrs. White, before I'd pick up the phone and call her, I would literally write myself some notes about what we would talk about. I would okay, what can I talk about? I did this. I saw this. One of my we were going to college together. You'll never guess what one of my professors said today, or so I just write myself some little bullet points of things to talk about, right? And then I'd call her up and I'd look at my little bullet points, and sometimes I'd go off of those and we'd start talking about something else, and I'm okay without my bullet points. I think the same thing in this, and then after a short period of time, I didn't need to do it anymore because we did develop a relationship and we just had this natural tendency.
There
was a chemistry.
Yeah.
And not everybody have a chemistry before, and I don't have an ongoing working relationship with those people.
Yeah.
So I'm always looking to add more on to see who is a good working relationship. And so I think on this one, I think two parts to it.
It evolves.
I think part of it, we become better as we do it more, like anything that we're doing. Yeah. And part two, it's probably BS in our own head of saying, I feel like I'm saying the same. They're not thinking that at all, because they get 60 phone calls a week, 100 phone calls a week. Because these are the qualified agents that's actually getting a lot of calls. That they're going to remember the exact transcript of my conversation 100 calls before.
No, not even likely.
No, it's just and understand, they're bringing us these rocks and we're pulling gold out of it, and they know that.
Yeah.
So this
is good loan officers are.
That's right. That's right.
The bad ones are making a mess of it.
That's right. That's right.
So they realize this guy over here is helping me make more money.
That's right.
They're helping me with my process. They're helping me convert my clients.
They're following up on the leads for me.
They're giving me the loyalty uplift. Every time I send it, it's the same way every time. They close on time. There's clear communication. Golly, Carl's making me a ton of money.
Yeah, because understand that when we're talking with these agents, this is not a social hour. We're working, and understand that these are the qualified agents that are working, that have deals to send to us. And so there's actual, you're dealing, this is a business transaction.
Yeah.
And true, there's a social nature to it for sure.
100%.
But the qualified agents understanding the reason I'm calling is this is what you do in business. And Monday mornings is the day that Carl calls me up and I transfer him these rocks.
That's it.
And then he finds the rocks that have the nuggets of gold, and then we get it. So we go, all I got to do is sit here and they bring me rocks and we pull out gold. What they do is I find all these rocks and I just hand them to Carl. and he pulls gold out of them.
He saves me time by pulling the ones that don't work
And helping me follow up on them.
That's right. That's right. Well, and one of the things too is we're talking about agents. They're not just agents. These are people that are like-kinded, like-minded, like-hearted.
Mm-hmm.
They become our friends. I'm thinking about some of the agents that you go out on the boat together, you go to dinner together. We're going skiing in February with one of our agents.
So, but
and that is where it evolves too, is it's like, I want to do business with people I know, like, and trust. And you're making all these calls to build these relationships to see if it's going to be a great fit.
But I tell you, so like you're an extrovert.
Yeah.
Right. And you're very much a social person.
Yeah.
Right. You are. And just being honest, I'm not.
Sure.
Right. A lot of people don't know that, but I think people listen to podcasts. God, I've said this before. I'm an introvert.
Mm-hmm.
I love people. Right.
Yeah.
I love hanging out with people, but I'm an introvert. I've never once gone hunting, fishing, boating with one of my referral partners. Not once.
Yeah.
I've never once gone to dinner with them. Not once.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally off the top of my head, literally never. Now I've met them for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone to the real estate association. I've met them at their office. They've met me at my office. I've met them at open houses, our brokers opens. I've met them at that. I've literally before 9 or after 5,
Yeah.
I've never been anywhere with any of my agents because I'm just my introvertedness. I just don't want to. Right. But 9 to 5, I'm a social butterfly, but at 5:01, it's me and my family. Right. And and the only reason I'm saying that is half the people that's listening are like you, and they go, dude, I'd love to go hunting with my favorite real estate agent. Yeah. But for the other half that are like me, you don't have to go to the ball game with them per se. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. But you do have to interact with them. You do have to call them. You do have to coffee them. You do like these other things so that you get this free army of people like Tom Sawyer painting your fence.
And I love the analogy. An army of people out there working to bring rocks.
Free.
What a great.
I don't even I don't have to put the post up to hang the signs.
You just got to make the call to the qualified agents to meet and see if there's
a nice to them. I got to be nice. I got to close them on time. I got to keep them updated during the loan process
and follow
up on the leads.
That's
what I got to do.
3 things that matter.
And ask for the business.
Yeah, and ask.
Yeah, no ask, no sell.
Yeah, well,
no tiki, no laundry.
Well, yes, that's 100% it. So
we cool.
Our time's up.
All right.
Hey, well, listen. If somebody's listening and they say, "Carl, Steve, I want help with that,"
where do they go?
Go to freedomplanningcall.com. Freedomplanningcall.com.
And planning. Does that have 2 ends or 1?
2.
So freedomplanningcall.com. Okay.
That's it.
Hey, I got a spell check. I don't not
you did that because of me. I'm always like, how do you spell that? Freedomplanningcall.com. We would love to
happens? So I go to freedomplanningcall.com. What happens?
Yeah, you're going to put in a couple of pieces of information and somebody on our team is going to talk to you about helping you build your plan and what we've talked about today about your agents. Who do I go after? How do I build a qualified list? What's a focus 40? What does this mean? They're going to go in more detail with you. Help you build your 90-day plan
and map out a true plan.
I'm
going to tell you right now,
it's the best thing. We're going to do it in our 2-day boot camp, by the way.
That's right.
Which starts tomorrow. And if you're listening, you said, I want to know more. They're mastermindretreats.com.
But I'd go to Freedom Planning. That way it can happen now. Our next event's not for like 3 months, 4 months. So freedomplanningcall.com.
And we're going to do the same thing at the event.
And you'll be amazed. Yeah. I'm going to challenge you. Mm-hmm. You'll be absolutely blown off your feet what you can accomplish in one 45-minute call. This is not a sales call. This is an actual planning. Here, go do this. Yeah. Here's the script that we use. Yeah. And the same things that you're using in your branch, same things I'm using in my branch. Mm-hmm. You'll be shocked at what you can learn in a 45-minute call. It's really cool.
It'll transform your business.
100%. I believe that. I believe that 100%. So, and imagine making an extra 48 grand.
That number is
and
shocking,
you know what? And people think that's right.
That's not pie in the sky.
No, we see that. Now, is that typical? No.
Because most people don't do it.
Most people don't do it.
The ones that are doing it are seeing
it. 100% I believe that. 100% I believe that. So, all right, cool.
All right. Well, hey, listen, thank you for being a part of the episode. Remember this, anything worth doing is worth doing badly. Just get started. See ya.